Wednesday, November 18th, 1864, President Lincoln boarded a train from Washington, D.C. to Gettysburg. On that train, he complained to his secretary, John Hay, that he felt weak. Thursday, November 19th, the train arrived in Gettysburg and he complained to his assistant secretary, John Nicolay, that he felt dizzy. After Lincoln's Gettysburg address, John Hay noted that the president's skin appeared had a ghastly color. He was sad, mournful, and haggard. Now, anyone that knew Abraham Lincoln knew that he suffered from a skin condition that made his skin leathery and brown. And to say that his skin had a ghastly color is certainly saying something about the president's overall health at the time. After the speech, Lincoln went back to Washington, where he was taken to bed with a fever. The White House surgeons determined that he was suffering from a mild form of smallpox. I'm not saying something about his character to deliver the most famous speech in U.S. history while under the influence of smallpox. The Gettysburg Address was not supposed to be Lincoln's speech. That credit was supposed to go to a man named Edward Everett, who gave a 2-hour, 13,600 plus word oration before President Lincoln's 2-minute, 10-sentence speech. But President Lincoln captured the minds and hearts of a country that was engaged in war so eloquently that his speech, his 2-minute, 10-word speech, is now was considered the Gettysburg Address. Abraham Lincoln was known to use his stovepipe hat as a mobile filing cabinet. Not that day. Eyewitness accounts report that he pulled the speech from inside his pocket and began to speak. Fourscore and 7 years ago, our founding fathers brought forth onto this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated far above our poor powers to add or detract. The world will little know, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us. That from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. That we are highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. By the people, for the people, of the people. That this earth that shall not perish from the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, board members of Historic Wrightsville Incorporated, welcome to our diorama.
All right.